Hey y'all, it's Gemini Jazz with House of Chiron, and I'm just here for the good news, honey. We are back with another episode of Galactic Gossip. Yes, indeed. So, let's talk about what's happening this week from June 14th through June 21st. We have a few things going on. We have Venus that is now visible. We have the solar eclipse, new moon in the sign of Cancer. We have Mercury, which is in shadow phase and is going to be going retrograde this week. So we're going to talk about all that plus a few aspects. So let's just dive right on into it. All right, so Venus is still in retrograde and it is now visible as our morning star. So what this means is that Venus has been in the position where we see it at night, where it has been the night star. And now it is transitioned into, because it was invisible, where it wasn't seen, when it had that conjunction with the sun. From that point, Venus became invisible to us. And so now Venus is making its grand appearance again as our morning star. So you can see Venus right before the sunrise or right around that time when the sun rises. So Venus is back here to bless us once again with the things of pleasure and love and beauty and all the finer things, right? So, moving on, we have on the 21st, I'm going to talk about the big energy that's this week, and then we'll talk about Mercury going retrograde and what that means and how that ties into everything else. So, let's talk about this solar eclipse new moon in the sign of Cancer. So, eclipses bring, and especially eclipse season, and we have nothing but eclipse season for the remainder of the summer. So, eclipse season always bring fated changes, major changes to our lives. It puts us in a new direction, or it sets us back on path. Things that will come up for us, and it just kind of shifts things in our lives. So with this solar eclipse, it's a new moon. So this is about setting intentions, starting something new coming up for us, something starting, something presenting itself. It could happen in several different ways depending on where this is happening in your chart. So it's in the sign of Cancer. So what does Cancer represent? Cancer represents our foundation, our security, our influence. Cancer is also the sign of the mother. It is the water. It is the emotional depths of things. So how deep do you go emotionally? This is about nurturing and comfort. So we are going to be initiating things depending on where this falls in your chart, because it's going to happen differently for everyone. But collectively, this is something about our security, our foundation, starting something new to set that foundation to go in a new direction, or set back on path into the direction that we once were on, or even more so, becoming more laser focused and setting the foundation to build upon it. So just be kind of in this energy. You expect to feel that things are not in your control, that fated things keep happening or that will come up. You might not feel it immediately, but over the next 6 to 9 months or so, you will start seeing the energy and the manifestations of these eclipses coming into your life, that something new is going to set forth. And whatever intentions that you set with this eclipse, you'll see it in a few months. So just pay attention to the synchronicities, because that's also something that eclipse season brings. A lot of synchronicities, a lot of fated events. There's going to be new things that come up for you, and then you could also feel that you have no control. So just keep in mind of all of those things. Now with this eclipse, we are also going to be having an in conjunction with Saturn, which is still in retrograde, and it will be at 0 degrees, just as well as the eclipse. The new moon will be at 0 degrees Cancer. So 0 is the sign, it's the number of initiating. It's the fresh start. It's the new beginning. It is the number of creation. So you can create, which is wonderful for a new moon, which is all about setting your intentions. So this is the perfect time to set your intentions to create what it is that you desire, to set forth not only what it is that you want, but also when you're setting your intentions, set the intentions with the actions that it's going to take to get there. Be very decisive, very intentional about what it is that you desire. And with this in conjunction to Saturn, Saturn is all about the structure, the order. It's about the discipline. It is also about the limitations and the restrictions as well as the boundaries. So we have Saturn that will be at 0 degrees in Aquarius because it's in retrograde, and it will soon retrograde back into Capricorn. But being that it's 0 degrees in Aquarius, this is going to encourage us to set boundaries for others as well as ourselves. Where is it that we need to set boundaries and more discipline within ourselves? Where is it that we need to set boundaries with others to where we're not taking on the emotional things of other people? That's that Cancer energy, the new moon in Cancer, that we're not taking on things that don't belong to us, that we're not investing our energy, our emotional energy in things that do not benefit or resonate with the direction that we're going in. So not only will it be boundaries, but also discipline and order. So keep that in mind, that this is going to be an integration, because how I see in conjunctions, there's something that needs to be integrated in what is being created at that time, or what it is that you have learned, and what it is. It's like the knowledge and the wisdom, right? The difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is the knowing, but the wisdom behind it is the actual action. So this is what an in conjunction is going to do, especially one in conjunction to Saturn, is going to provide us that wisdom that we need for the discipline, the order, the boundaries, the limitations that we need to place on certain things in order to have that wisdom in what it is that we need to do to get it done. So that's the big energy for this eclipse that we will be having on Sunday. So I will be putting something out to help you all understand where this is happening in your chart based on your rising sign, and what it is that you could do to set your intentions. If you need some ideas, I'll be putting that out this week, so keep a lookout for that. Also, we have Mercury in its shadow phase, and it's in Cancer, and it will be going retrograde on the 17th. It's like late night on the 17th. So Mercury retrograde is going to be in the sign of Cancer, and this is going to also be affecting us with our communication, our social medias and technology, also with our vehicles. Mercury rules however you receive information. So your thought process, your nervous system, however you receive information, that's what's going to be affected by this Mercury retrograde. But because it's in Cancer, it's going to be affecting how we receive our information on an emotional level as well. So it's a great time to do some breathing, get into your breaths, get into some meditation. Be very aware of what it is that you're feeling, and if it's actually your feelings that you're feeling, especially if you're an empath like me. So just be very mindful. It's a really great time to practice mindfulness, especially when Mercury goes retrograde. It's also a wonderful time to slow down. Pay attention and be aware of what it is that you're doing. Double check your work, proofread, make sure you're sending the correct text messages to the right people. Please and thank you. And also make sure that your emails and all of your communications are clear to where people can understand them and not misinterpret, because everything is subject to misinterpretation during a Mercury retrograde. Also slow down on the highway, because during Mercury retrograde, since it rules vehicles as well, the short distance travel, accidents are prone to happen. It happens every Mercury retrograde. So just be very aware. Slow down. And with this, the benefits from slowing down and taking your time and assessing things will actually help you understand what it is that you're actually trying to do, where it is that you need to kind of go through some things with a fine-tooth comb and redo, revamp, reassess. And I also have a blog that I will be sharing on my social media platforms. It's like some tips for Mercury retrograde, so I'm just going to add that back out there so y'all can kind of be aware of some tips to keep you, grounded and level during the Mercury retrograde. Tips from a Gemini who's ruled by Mercury. Why not? Okay, so moving on, we do have Mars and Neptune in this conjunction. That energy is still there. That happened on the 13th. So the energy is still there, and that is just eliminating things. It could bring up some frustration. It could bring up some energies that are just like, you know, this is not working for me. It needs to be cut. Neptune is dissolving things, and Mars is just cutting stuff out and giving you the energy, the action, and the initiative to actually let it go. Just let it go. If it ain't working, let it go. Don't chase, don't resist, don't fight, just let it go. It's fine. So it was also making the square to the sun. So this could have brought some things to the light, or downloaded some things into our consciousness, made us aware of some things that have been keeping us in this elusive state where we are just completely just walking through fog, because it's kind of Neptune energy. Neptune rules media and makeup and things that can create an illusion. So we are being shown things, and now we're more aware of where we have been, you know, disillusioned and deceived even, and just cutting certain things out. And that could even be internal and external. So things that happen externally in your environment, in your life, personal situations, as well as internally, how you have been deceiving yourself, how you have been just completely not seeing things clearly, and then just cutting it out. Sad, just like that, just stopping. It's a wrap. So also we have Mars making the sextile on the same day that Mercury goes retrograde. So Mars will be making a sextile to Pluto and Jupiter in conjunction. Those are retrograde at the time. So with that being said, Mars and Pluto conjunction, Mars making the sextile to Pluto and Jupiter is going to be helping us get rid of what is happening in regards to some things that need to be reassessed and let go, because Pluto in retrograde is bringing up karma that needs to be released, things that need to be let go of as well. So it's just more so highlighting the energy that's already present with this Mars and Neptune conjunction is squaring the sun, and then we have Mars sextile Pluto and Jupiter, and that is whatever is karmic, whatever it is that we need to expand on to release. That Mars energy is just helping us to easily let it go, like it's just going to happen, especially if we have been doing the work behind the scenes. So I think that's all I have on my notes. Yep, that's it for this week. That's all I got. So a few quick announcements. Gemini season is winding down, so this is the last week for Gemini season. So if you are a Gemini and you want to get your solar return, go ahead and click my link, whoever it is. Also look out for the Mercury retrograde tips from a Gemini. I will be putting that out. If you're not following me on Snapchat, if you're not following me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, that's what it was, Twitter. Follow me on there. I put all my stuff on there. So, and you can get all my blogs. Also, you can follow my website and get everything else. So, I hope this has been helpful. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Please and thank you. And I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Please let me know if y'all are feeling these energies already, because I know I have been feeling some of them. Yeah, but it ain't that bad. Remember, nothing happens to us. Everything happens for us. Y'all have a wonderful week.